The Columbus Crew come out of the international break off the back of a loss to Toronto FC, and it's one that leaves plenty to think about. Columbus had moments, they showed flashes in possession, created stretches of pressure, but once again, the fine margins weren't on their side. Defensive lapses and missed opportunities in the final third proved costly, and it's another result that slows early season momentum. Now, the black and gold have reset after the international window couldn't come at a better time. It's now a chance to regroup, clean up the details, and get players healthy and recalibrate before heading into the weekend against Atlanta United. Because when MLS action returns, it's no easing back in. It's a matchup with Atlanta United, a team that can punish you quickly if you are not sharp. So the question becomes, can this break serve as a turning point, or are the issues we're seeing part of a bigger early season trend? On this episode of the Wisemen Say podcast, we break down the loss to Toronto, what needs fixing, and what Columbus must improve before facing Atlanta. So, without further ado, let's get into it. I want you all to know that ChatGPT totally fucked me over right there. Because what in the world? And we already have Andy popping in the chat. Andy, how's it going, man? Guys, welcome into another live episode of the Wisemen Say podcast. We are back after a couple week hiatus, I think it was.
Yeah, two.
What, two?
2 full weeks.
2 full week hiatus. And I guess we're not even happy to talk about the Columbus Crew, but I guess we're happy to be back on your airways. Ty Fisher alongside Gerald Lucas, Derek Abbott. Friends, how are we after these 2 weeks? I know I'm tired.
Yeah, very, very tired. I just got back from Vegas, which was a great time. But I am struggling and to readjust for some reason. Very tired. But I was excited not to have to scramble to see a Crew game. It's probably the first time in a long time that I have not had to find a place to see a Crew game. Because, sports books and stuff there, it's not necessarily. Oh, I will point out, though, one thing that I meant to text you guys about is we were walking around on Saturday. And for anybody who has been there, a lot of times they'll have TVs above or in between a lot of the table games. And on Saturday afternoon, there was a game. I don't remember who it was off the top of my head. On I think it was either Fox or FS1, and they had it on a lot of the TVs in the casinos as we were walking around. Which, I mean, I've been going there for a few years now, like once or twice a year, just depending on what's going on. And that's probably the first time I've ever seen that. Granted, it was on the main channel, but still, you almost never see them on the TVs. So, props to MLS for being able to put more games on regular TV that people can get kind of, routinely without Apple and the things like that. So that was impressive. So I was very happy to see that.
And he says, life is good except for Crew and USMNT. Yes, because what was that Portugal match?
The Belgium match.
I didn't see that one. I think I was working that day.
I actually had my USA. They came out with a few years ago, it's like a tank top. I'll wear it when it's in the summer sometime. It just says States across it, and it's in blue and black, kind of camo. It's a pretty cool one. I found it on Poshmark or something. So I was wearing it that day, and then we were sitting at a bar, and it was on, and they were just getting absolutely destroyed. And so it was mildly embarrassing. There were people who were out there repping Team USA, though, but if you were looking for an escape from the Crew's performance, you did not get anything better from U.S. men's national team. Arguably worse, actually. Far worse, in my opinion.
Yeah. Andy says, Arson embarrassed us, bro. He played bad.
Yeah.
Did you watch the Portugal match at all?
I caught bits and pieces of it. Okay. So didn't get to see the whole thing. But yeah, I mean, it looked a lot of the same. Not as bad as the Belgium one, but yeah, I mean, Arson didn't look good out there. I thought there were spurts actually where they had Berhalter and Aiden Morris both out there at the same time playing in the midfield. I didn't think it looked terrible. I saw online that uh, especially the people that specifically follow U.S. men's national team in particular and aren't big fans of MLS didn't have really overly positive things to say about them. But in general, I thought it was a little bit better than what I had been seeing the game before.
Yeah,
So I think it's kind of up to the individual, but I think the general consensus is that we're not headed in the right direction heading into World Cup coming up here in a few short months.
yeah. I I watched the game. It wasn't good. Um, couple of good chances. I mean, not even chances, but a couple of opportunities that could have happened in the buildup. But I I will definitely say I am not a fan of Christian Pulisic anymore. I
No.
think I think he has gotten way ahead of himself. Um, especially with the USMNT. I think he's starting to become one of those it's my way or no way kind of
Mhm.
guys, and he's starting to become full of himself and whatnot. So I'm no longer a fan of Christian Pulisic. I kind of didn't like him from the jump. I'm not denying his talent because he is a very talented player. But the arrogance of him is starting to show a
Yeah,
little
he got
more
yanked
and more.
pretty early in that Belgium game, and there were a lot of clips floating online of him just like kind of staring off into the abyss on the bench. And like you just, when you're looking for leadership and he's supposed to be the guy who's supposed to kind of bring that to the team, given
Hmm.
all of his experience and everything, there just was not a lot of evidence of that. And yeah, I don't think it's
Yeah,
just a coach. When it comes to him, I don't think it's a coaching thing at this point. I think it's far more of a bigger problem.
yeah, and um, I kind of agree with Andy's comment right here. Plays hero ball nowadays, but still think if he can get healthier, he can go back to his old ways. I do
Hmm.
think that he has found his spot at Milan,
Yeah.
um, and not Chelsea or um, I can't remember if he was anywhere else between Chelsea and Milan. I do think he's found his footing at Milan, which is good. But I think on the international stage, it's one of those things where America's god or
Hmm.
America's child or star boy or whatever it is. And I think he's kind of taken that a little bit too seriously. I know as well when I was watching the Portugal match, um, he got beat off the ball cleanly, wanted a foul, and then went and kind of a retaliation tackle. I can't remember on who it was, but I'm like, you don't need that there. I made a tweet about it, I was like, that's poor from Pulisic. It was a clean tackle.
Yeah.
Um, and then the other one, he gets beat off the ball again inside the penalty box and kicks out at the same player, which in my book, I feel like it's borderline red because that's attempting to strike or it's
Hmm.
towards violent conduct towards an opponent. So he's lucky to escape with a yellow in that instance. But
It's not one for one, but it kind of gives me flashbacks to Gio Reyna in terms of the like hype a little bit, and
yeah,
then like needing to live up to the hype, and you see spurts where you're like, yes, okay, this is exactly who he could be, and it's just not, again, not the same scenario in terms of like why they're not performing well, but you could see some similarities between the two situations still. Like there's definitely pieces of it there.
yeah. But I mean, I think I mean, what do we think now? We saw two matches, or you saw one, I saw one. I
Yeah,
mean,
we could
what?
piece them together.
Yeah, what are we thinking about the last performance before Mauricio Pochettino names his 26-man roster for the World Cup?
I mean, I don't even know. And again, I probably at one point followed it a little bit more than maybe what I do now. And I think a lot of that, quite honestly, just has to do in terms of like the actual play that they've been having so
Yeah,
far. But he plays so many different people that I just don't really have a good read on like who would make the team versus not. I think Matt Freeze has been doing like relatively well. all things considered. Like there are definitely some saves that he's making where you're like, these are high quality saves. Like he's doing a lot out there. Other times he's getting rocked, so it's hard to say. But look at your options. You got to kind of roll with like whoever you feel most comfortable with. But I mean, when the coach comes out before, I think it was the Belgium game where he like pretty much said like we're a team that should be able to get to the semifinals, and that should be kind of our goal, and we have the ability to do that. And then you go out and get fleeced that same day. It's just so demoralizing. And so I don't really know who's all going to make the roster. I think at this point you're kind of got to just roll with the suspects you assume are going to be on it. Like Arston's likely to be on the team. I don't know if they're going to bring Schulte. They don't really give him any chances, so like it wouldn't be the most surprising thing ever if he doesn't make the team. But I would like to see that. I think Aiden Morris should be on the team, even if he's just going to be on the bench, because I think he's proven himself to be good enough for it.
Yeah.
You talk about someone like Berhalter. I mean, I think potential's there. I just don't know if he's up to that level yet for this round for a World Cup. I think, you look at some of the tournaments in the next few years, you'll probably see more of him just because the team isn't necessarily overly young either. There's definitely some guys on there that will get the nod, but this is probably their last one if I had to guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. Ultimately, I look at the group and I think you certainly have an opportunity to get out of the group stage. That should absolutely still be the goal. Would it be the most shocking thing ever if they didn't make it out of the group stage? Not by a long shot. I would not be surprised at all. But it's going to be a huge disappointment if they can't do that. And I don't know that too many people disagree with that. So I'm kind of just like, I don't know.
Yeah. Andy says, I mean, they were very hard opponents, which, yes, Belgium and Portugal,
True.
those are two, top 15, maybe top 10 in the world?
I would guess top 10 just based on their names. I could be a little off on that, but I think top 15 is a really good, like it would be shocking if they weren't both in the top 15.
Yeah. Poch needs to stop experimenting so much. He started no striker against Portugal. He's right. They started no striker. Well, would you classify Way as a striker or more of like a winger?
I would say winger. I wouldn't count him as one of our strikers.
Okay. So then,
I mean, technically, he'd probably be listed as that, but I wouldn't consider him one of the top options. If he's starting at the absolute at the number one striker spot, I'd be very concerned in a game any game that we're in.
Love MLS, but MLS players should not be playing on a national team apart from free. So that's a very hot take.
Yeah,
right there. But
there's a lot of people that will agree with that. I don't agree with that personally, but you hear that a lot. So it's not wrong from 50% of the fan base by any means.
both top 10. Okay. Belgium 9, Portugal 6. So I mean, top 10 opponents. I mean, if you're looking at, especially let's talk about names who weren't with these teams either. I don't think KDB was with Belgium unless he was, and I just missed it. Cristiano Ronaldo not with Portugal.
No.
I mean, you have Bruno Fernandes. He's a class no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
Who else? Can't think of anybody else, but I mean, you're missing probably one of the greatest players in the world, next to Messi.
Yeah.
And Ronaldo, who wasn't with them. I don't think KDB was with Belgium, so you're missing him. Also, probably one of the more classier midfielders in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, just think about what's going to happen when get to the World Cup, and now you have a 40-year-old Ronaldo. Now you have a 30-something-year-old Belgium who's still playing kind of in his prime, it feels like, and whatnot. So I don't know. This team is weird, quite honestly, and I hate to say it. I think we're going to get grouped. Quite honestly, I mean, I would love for us to make it out of the group stage. I would love for us to make it to the quarterfinal. That's my expectation is the quarterfinal. But given the fact that the USMNT have no idea, right, I think we're going to get grouped, and which is we made it. No, we didn't even make it out the group last year. In
Did we
region, did
not?
we?
I thought we did. I don't
That was
remember now.
22. Where was 22 at Qatar?
It was yes, and it was the weird one during November and December. So like
Oh
distinctly
yeah. So
remember we got to go to the bar on Black Friday because I didn't have to work, and we went and watched that game. So I
yeah,
distinctly remember, but I don't remember. Maybe someone in the comments will know a little bit better, but it's
I
amazing. It seems so long ago, but at the same time, it always sneaks up. The World Cup will sneak back up on me where I'm like, oh my gosh, it's happening again already.
now that I think about it, I think we made it to the round of 16. We lost to the Netherlands.
Mm.
Now that I think about it,
Which I mean, the Netherlands are always going to be a good team, so I'm not necessarily surprised by that by any means.
yeah, no way we get grouped. Not with 8 third place teams advancing. I mean, I don't. I'm just saying. It's just a
They
feeling.
will do whatever they can. I mean, you think of the organization who runs it. That's all I'm going to say. But you think of how they sometimes do these groups for the host countries, and I think they tip now. Granted, you also have Mexico and Canada involved as well, but I think they typically will try to do groupings of stuff as best they can to try to ensure that that team will advance. So if we're like, let's say, one of the third place teams, I think, barring just a total collapse, there'll be some mechanism that will get us out of the group,
Mm-hmm.
unless we just totally flame out, which
I mean,
not out of the realm of possibility by any means, but you would hope that we would get out of the group.
as we welcome back in Gerald.
He doesn't know what we're talking about, probably.
He's
Gerald, what's your
he's
expectation for Team USA?
he's glitching so bad.
See, Manny's seeing a little, or Manny took away from it a little of what I did in terms of Berhalter and Morris in the midfield, feeling like it wasn't as bad as maybe some others thought it was.
Yeah.
But again, I don't really think that he's going to bring them up. I don't think we've seen enough of them. I mean, Morris potentially, but like both of them, I don't necessarily foresee that being the case. I'd be a little surprised. I'll say that. I will be surprised. Pleasantly surprised, but surprised.
Gerald, you back? No? All right. Um I think now let me ask you this question. And this could raise some debate amongst amongst the masses. Was Mauricio Pochettino the right hire?
No.
Oh wow, okay. That was quick.
I mean, I don't remember now who the options were, but I mean, I think if you just look at the results, I don't
I
think he's
honestly
really
don't remember
been
who.
overly impressive.
Yeah.
I don't know who. There's talk, and I never like listen to his sound clips for the most part. Occasionally I'll catch some, but I know there was rumblings of him already maybe having like a gig lined up after this World Cup, which always makes me think right away, like, how vested is the coach? Because they're not.
Oh, Poch? Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's a link back to Tottenham.
I was gonna say I knew it was like a notable club. I couldn't remember who exactly, but I think you got to bring in somebody. And again, I know there are constraints around like if you're not going to have like some of the best players in the world. I mean, you could
Mhm.
argue Pulisic is still with his performance when he's with Milan, but you're not going to have these like the number one of the top 10 players in the world, most likely. I mean, it'd be surprising, but you need somebody who's has experience in that space who can like wrangle them because you only get them to camp so many times a year and to play games. So you need somebody who has a system where you can maximize that. I quite frankly don't necessarily understand what his system is at times. It feels like in previous years we've all kind of just always run the same thing. just from, my eyes and not following it as intensely as maybe some others do. But no, I don't think so. And maybe somebody, I don't know who's available out there. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people would jump and say Klopp's out there, but I don't foresee him taking that job. And I think his
No,
name was definitely one of the ones previously that they mentioned.
I think it was
There there
too.
there was conversation that he was gonna leave Liverpool the year that they won regardless. So I think, you know, I don't know, it's really tough to say. Who, I know people are gonna get upset about this, but what's his name who left, I mean, he probably wouldn't come back, never mind. I'm not even gonna bring it up because he's leaving the country. LAFC's coach who just left, and he said he's moving
Steve
out of
Cherundolo.
yeah. I don't see him
No.
coming back and taking that gig because he's got to move back.
Yeah.
And his whole purpose was he was going to leave. He's not staying in the States. He's moving
Hmm.
out of the country. So I don't see that happening. I don't know. You don't
I don't
necessarily
know.
really want to dig in the well of like an MLS coach if you don't have to really. You can't go back to like some of the old coaches we've had because most of them are like they're kind of done coaching primarily. So
Yeah.
I just remember when we had Klinsman and everyone was like so upset all the time about him. It felt like there was a lot more like vitriol about him than now, which is maybe a bigger indictment of the team, the state of the team in general, that more people aren't like really fired up about it. Even Berhalter. I mean, people wanted him out so
Yeah, I
bad.
was gonna say. I think there was more of that towards Berhalter than there was Klinsman, because
Yeah.
I think with Klinsman honestly had a track record with him,
Hmm.
and actually made results matter.
Yeah.
I'm not saying Berhalter didn't, but when you're playing in Uruguay in the 60 something minute and you're telling people, hey, 1-1, all we need is a draw, you're taking their focus off of a free kick. That's how they scored. That's how they
I
lost. And
completely forgot about that.
yeah,
That was
when
maddening to
when
watch. Yeah.
when that's your focus, I think. Well, what was it? What tournament was it? Was it?
Was it Gold Cup?
I don't think so. I thought it was like Copa America or something like that.
It might.
I
Yeah,
thought, I
it
thought
could
it
have
was
been.
They're America.
They're always around the same time. I remember being
They
on a
really
family
are.
vacation and we went out to like watch the game and it was just maddening to watch. But I think if you put there like how do you say his name again? Pochettino?
Mauricio Pochettino.
Pochettino. Okay.
Hmm.
Pochettino, if you put his like uh tenure so far against Berhalter's though, I mean Berhalter blows it out of the water in terms of
Yeah.
like accomplishments.
Hmm.
So I would expect a lot more people. I mean, you can't do anything right now, obviously. You're not gonna can a coach. You need, you need to just see it through at this point. But I think they
Yeah.
really should be having talks about who can you have come in, and you need a big splash. Like you cannot continue in this trajectory, or you're never going to get out of it. It's just, and I saw like, who I don't, I'm not going to remember the names because he didn't play a lot, but I've seen some news about some dual citizenships where some players that had potential are choosing other countries, whether it's Mexico or some others, over playing for USA. And I'm like, I know that's always a tough thing. And typically we're not always going to win out on those anyways, but like the more you hear about it now, I think you need to make a big splash. You got to try to stop that from happening. And I think a lot of it has to do with the coaching and maybe some of the old players. I mean, we had this conversation with Berhalter where he kind of lost the locker room, and these players were kind of like, we all want to do it this one way, and he wants to do it another way, and we're not meshing. And they ultimately went on the side of the players, which is fine. But we're getting to a point where, I don't know that you can keep down that track.
It's got to take the right 11 players who can get the best out of each other, make history. Yeah, Morocco 2022 absolutely
Yeah.
blew it out the water.
Yeah.
Made it to what? Did they make it to the semis or quarters? I think they made it to the semis and then lost to Argentina. No, they made it to the quarters. I think it
The
was.
quarters. I can't remember one, that's been a long time since we've been
Yeah.
anywhere near the semis. But yeah, I mean, making it to the quarters, I mean, we'd all be really happy with that, which is
Yeah,
it's
I
hard to
would.
it's hard to imagine that. Like I can only think of one sport that I follow, two, where the team that I like, I would be happy if they just won like a series or got past like the first round of, a playoff, so to speak. And
Yeah.
that I'm not including the group stage in this. I mean, legitimately getting past group stage and then winning one game, that would feel like we won the World Cup at this rate, which is unfortunate. Like I hate that that's where the bar is for it.
Yeah. I mean, because you got to think as a nation, we're looking at, a very high bar because of our name, right?
Yes.
United States of America and whatnot. But somehow, some way, we just can't figure it out when where the lights shine the brightest.
Yeah.
So which why I said, my expectation for them is the quarterfinal.
Hmm.
Realistically, I think we're going to get grouped. So, and I'm going to clip this, or
Yeah.
hey StreamYard, clip that. See if that works. So, somehow, some way, if you say like, hey StreamYard, clip that or on the thing, StreamYard will hear it, and
Really?
then yeah, apparently so. I don't know if it works or
We'll
not, but
find
that's
out.
just yeah, sure.
I mean, I'm sure
Um,
we'll be making prediction as we get closer on
oh
like
yeah,
where we'll stand and stuff. But I mean, I don't know what will change from now till then. But I mean, you're looking at April and May, and that's
yeah.
it. You have 2 months, and I don't. Is there another break between then? I mean, I don't think
I
so.
don't think so. No,
So
I mean
you need
we're
guys
looking
who
at
you got to pick guys who are going to come in and literally, like Manny said, you need 11 players that are just like mentally going to have to go into it and being like, we are going to need to like have sheer will to get the best out of each other to put
mhm.
this thing together to make something happen. And I just saw today that I think it's Amazon maybe that's going to do like a documentary series of the team leading up and through the World Cup, and I'm like, oh no,
Don't want that.
we do not do it in secret, and then if something good happens, release it, and then if
Release it.
not, don't even tell us that it was a thing. Like we'd rather
Yeah,
not know.
archive that thing for like a
Yes.
rainy day when it's like 2056.
Yeah. Drop
So,
that thing on like during Christmas time when people just need things to watch because everything else goes on like pause. Like something like that.
yeah. Oh, hey, by the way, we did a thing back in 2026.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Enjoy. Check it out.
Yeah, and you just see Matt Freese making a diving save and whatnot. Now we're looking at Chase Adams on the USMNT and
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
what the hell? Um, oh man, it's yeah. This
Bleak.
World Cup's about to be disgustingly bad. I hate it so much. But you want to know what else is disgustingly bad? It's the black and gold right now.
Mhm.
I didn't watch the game against Toronto because it was at 1 o'clock and I was busy at work.
Yeah.
And I think Andy kind of segues this perfectly. Does Columbus catch a dub against Atlanta?
Well, what did we say before we started? We could rehash it. So before we started, I said, well, Atlanta has one win on the season. So if there was ever a chance for us to go from 0 wins to at least catch them with one win, this would be it. And then Ty, what did you say?
Oh yes, so did Toronto.
So did Toronto. And I said, crap.
And their one win came against freaking uh yeah. They have two wins and they're
Oh,
both
dude.
against Ohio teams.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Great,
And they're
isn't
in,
it?
and we're playing this game. I had a buddy text me today, and he was like, you want my ticket for the game on Saturday? And we have like a family thing on Saturday, so I'm gonna watch it on my tablet or on my phone or something instead. And I was like, no, actually, I can't make it. And then I looked a little bit later, and I was like, they actually don't play at home. They play at Mercedes Benz, which is like a house of horrors for us.
Uh
If we can get out without an injury and like a draw, moral victory. I will take it at this rate.
Look, I'll just be happy if we score a goal. Quite honestly, I mean, yeah, we scored one against Toronto. Cool.
It was early on too. It was
Oh, dude, yeah, Air Abu Ali ready for takeoff, clear for takeoff.
It was
I mean,
so. When I was watching that game, it was early on. That happened. I think it was Arston who had like a great cross into the box to Abuli, who hit it in. I thought, oh my gosh, this is what we've been waiting for. One, we never see goals like that anymore. So this is like we're finally checking some boxes off. Here we go. Then the game just like went to a slog after that. It's like everything that they did right in the first 10 minutes completely forgot. Like it was just not a lot of action. I think at one point it felt like Toronto ended up having like 5 million corner kicks. At one point, I was just like, "You've got to be kidding me! Like, what is going on?" And then they scored, and then I had to leave because I had tickets to the Blue Jackets game, and my buddy wanted to go somewhere beforehand. So I was like, "Cool, I'll catch the end of the game." Wherever we go, somewhere in the arena district. So I'm like, I can afford to miss 10 minutes while we drive down there or whatever. And sure enough, without fail, Toronto scores. They tie it up. And then by the time we're not even at the bar yet, and Toronto had scored again. And then I just told myself, like, we're not coming back. We won't even get a tie on this because it's just not something I've seen this season so far that they're able to come back from in adversity in terms of being down or especially giving up 2 goals.
I would like to look at this really quick because I can tell you how many times
Manny is saying that Mercedes-Benz is grass right now, not turf. Is that because of the World Cup coming in?
No, it's definitely turf.
Is it?
Because it was turf when the USMNT played.
Oh, why aren't they so? Okay, I mean, not to get back on the USMNT, but why are they not keeping the grass? Because they're playing World Cup games there, I believe.
So, if I'm not mistaken, I saw a video on TikTok. Let's see if Gerald's back. Yes, he is. Cool. I saw a thing on TikTok that said, and I'll find the video and I'll share it in the group chat, that said that they can't put grass in because the way that the ground is set up, you can't really nurture grass like artificial, like grass, like our grass, because it's the way that it's because it's not set up for that. And that was a big question heading into the World Cup was how are they going to, or can they fix it so that way they can nurture grass in Mercedes-Benz Stadium for World Cup matches. I really want to find it because
so they truly built this stadium. I mean, it's kind of baffling to me, but they spent all this money, built this stadium, and they really only built it strictly for NFL then.
Pretty much, yeah.
Because, I mean, I guess there's other things that you could have there and you wouldn't really matter about grass.
You think it's physically impossible. Here's the real reason that they can't have grass inside a Mercedes-Benz Stadium full time, and it's not for the reason you think. It's physically impossible. There's too many events that happen on this playing surface to keep it alive, and it's not just sporting events either. You got a concert here, whether it's Beyonce or Taylor Swift, The Weeknd, anybody big here inside of this building. All of the different things they got to put on top of this surface would kill all of the grass. And then the other aspect of it. There's too many events that happen on this playing surface in sports that would also not lead it to surviving super well. Mercedes-Benz Stadium hosts the SEC Championship game every year, and then NFL game the very next day. You also have situations where Atlanta United will play on a Saturday and the Falcons will play on a Sunday. High school teams will play here over the course of the entire week, and then they have to have it ready for an NFL game by the end of the week. There's just too many events that happen on this field that a natural playing surface just would not survive. And so you may be wondering, why are they doing a natural playing surface for the upcoming World Cup? Well, it's FIFA, and you have to have a real.
So Manny is right. Manny is right.
The biggest sporting event on earth. You pull out all the stops. Here's the real reason that they can't.
So Manny is right. From what I didn't know that they put it in. I thought they were just going to do it.
So did they roll like the hybrid on top of it?
That's what
it looks like.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. I did kind of wonder if they had the capability of doing that, like with the depth of everything.
Yeah. Think of oh, what's that? How did that get unmuted? How did my TV get unmuted? Think of what's the stadium? I can't remember the stadium to save my life, but there's a stadium that is turf, but will roll out grass.
Are you thinking of one of the West Coast? Are you thinking
Arizona?
That's what I was just gonna say. Is it Arizona? Does they
Arizona?
have
Arizona?
Whoa! You are so loud in my head. Holy shit!
He wants you to know. Yeah, Manny's saying Glendale too. I've been there. This was a long time ago, but for a football game, and they did have it outside.
Arizona.
Is it Dallas? I think they roll in a pitch too. Maybe.
No, they don't.
They don't. Maybe it's just like a field thing outside then.
Yeah, the Cardinals Stadium and as well out there in Glendale, they have grass that's on a conveyor belt that sits outside.
And they roll it in.
Yeah.
Do they have turf also? Or is it just the grass? Like, is the other part just for like every other event, pretty much?
I think they have turf. I think they have like a synthetic.
That they might use for other stuff.
I think Indianapolis also might have a synthetic.
Well, I know, like, we went up to Lambeau Field a few years ago, and we did like you could do the different levels of like a tour of the stadium on like non-game days, and they were explaining there that they used to do like full grass, but now they will like sow in grass into turf, so it's like a hybrid. So they'll sow grass and turf like in together, but they also have like an underground like warming system and stuff that they can use. And that's outdoors. So that's a little bit different than indoors in terms of like being able to have as close to the surface as you can have without having it just be straight up grass. But you look at examples like Chicago, I forget what the Pittsburgh stadium's name, those two in particular I think of, where they have a lot of events and it just rips it. It's so terrible. It just rips it all up, and they don't have the ability to really maintain it throughout like the fall, especially because there's just too many events going on it.
Versus Atlanta on the road, we've played 8 games with a 4-3-1 record and have scored 15 goals and have allowed 15 goals.
I would have never guessed that we have a winning record there, to be totally honest.
Yeah, because you think of the first thing you think of when you hear Atlanta United and Columbus is, oh crap, they play on turf. Columbus have gotten so many injuries on turf.
Yeah,
we suck. I think
of rain.
We suck in general. But Atlanta. Oh wait, I'm missing so many comments here.
The comment section we've gotten a very good like discussion going on about grass and fields, like
about everything.
The surface is just fantastic. The surface conversation is fantastic right now.
Love that. What was I looking for?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Oh my god. I was just about to look it up too.
I mean, the first thing.
Whoa. Yeah. Yeah. Standings. Oh my god, dude.
We're sitting in a wooden spoon.
Are we really? I mean, that wouldn't be surprising at this rate.
What?
I think there's a team that's just as bad as us, isn't there?
Yeah, Philadelphia.
Yeah, that's right, Philadelphia.
Atlanta United is 1-3-1. So we're facing another team with a one-win game. Yes, Derek, you are right. They have one win. So yes.
But I think Atlanta United is also dysfunctional, just like we are.
Toronto is equally as bad.
Well, they also got Josh Sargent as well. So
who didn't do a damn thing apparently against us. Came off the bench, if I believe.
No, he started.
Remember? Oh, did he?
Yeah, he started.
Did he play a full 90?
I don't know for sure on that.
Okay. Well, it makes sense because I think that was his second game.
Yeah, it was his second game.
All right. Well, I'm looking at Atlanta, who, oh man, where'd it go? Everything we need. No, that's not that. That's just how to watch the game and whatnot. They're finding their footing under returning head coach Tata Martino, going undefeated in the last 2 games after losing 3 straight to begin the 2026 season. So they're coming into this match on a high.
1 win and 1 tie. I love how they put that undefeated.
Yeah, undefeated. Okay, yeah,
sure.
maybe unbeaten is
unbeaten
a better word.
Would probably be a better.
Yeah. Undefeated is not.
It's doing a lot of legwork there.
Yeah. All 3 were decisive. This is by Atlanta boasting one of the league's most expensive rosters, highlighted by designated player trio of Miguel Almiron, Emmanuel Latela, and Alexei Moranchuk. All 3 were decisive in the club's lone win of the season, a 3-1 victory over the Philadelphia Union on match day 4. Almiron had a hat trick of assists. Emmanuel Latela, 1 goal, 2 assists, and 5 appearances this season. Moranchuk, he's Atlanta's top scorer this season, producing 3 goals and 5 appearances. And whatnot. And this just goes on to give the projected 11 for Atlanta and us. I will say, however, Atlanta United's goalkeeper is not that good. So, boys, we might have a chance. Now,
so you're saying there's a chance.
I want you guys to know that might, in my visionary eyes, I've written out what exactly I just said, right? Might is in bold, it's italicized, and it's underlined because that is a huge might when I say we might have a chance at this game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wish I could be Ted Lasso, but I have no faith in this team at all.
Just be a goldfish.
How can I be a goldfish when this is probably, when was the last time we started a season 3-2?
Porter.
What year?
His first year?
2014?
COVID year? No, it wasn't COVID. It was 2019, 2018.
Oh, wait, Porter. I'm thinking Berhalter. Holy hell. Porter, yes, 2019. Did we start 03? Oh my God, I typed in Columbus and it gives me Christopher Columbus. Jesus Christ. So, while I look this up, boys, the question is, and as Andy put it, do Columbus get a dub against Atlanta United this weekend?
Yes.
Oh, all right. I mean, I've seen a lot of chatter online about, especially in the Toronto game, but I don't remember for sure if this was the case the game before that, but we've been playing Diego Rossi kind of out to the right a little bit, and some people think that that's really impacting his ability to be as big of a playmaker as he can be, because it's kind of putting them out there on an island on the right hand side. I haven't paid attention to that enough. I will on Saturday a little bit more if he lines up there. I just find him to be somebody who is not going to allow himself to be really constrained to that right side, for better or worse. So I need to like watch more of it to like see if that's the case. But I do tend to think that if you can get him moved more towards the middle, you can maximize his ability to be a playmaker, whether that means directly in front of the net and getting, scoring chances in the box, or if he's just setting up plays for Abu Ali to score. And I think that's really in most of the games, again, we know the defense is not as stellar as we would like them to be, but Patrick's been doing a good job of mitigating some of that. And I do think that that could be a potential key to being able to get that attack where it needs to be overall. I think if you have someone like him, he is somebody who can pivot and, try to make chances happen. And I don't see him necessarily getting the ball a lot in the past few games. It just doesn't feel like he's like been involved a bunch. And I know that's probably the system and what we talked about. You want to get people to understand where they need to be and how to play within the system. But at the same time, I think he needs to be a little bit free to do some movements. And I think that is probably playing a little bit at nothing less a little bit of a factor in why we're not able to get more of scoring chances, or at least in the position to do those. If we're skying a bunch of balls over the net, what are you going to do? I mean, that's just the fate of it. But getting the balls into the scoring, opportunities is really, I think, our missing component so far.
2016.
We did in to start the season.
To start the season, the first 5 games, lost to Portland, lost to Philly, draw to Chicago, draw to Dallas, lost to Montreal. Sixth game of the season was a home game against NYCFC, and we won 3-2.
All right, 2016. So 10 years ago, guys.
Yeah, it is 10 years ago. Dang.
10 years ago.
Almost to the date.
No, wait. Don't say that. Are you serious?
The sixth game of the season was April 17th.
The NYCFC game?
Yes. April 17th of 2016.
So, 10 years. We went 0-3-2. We're doing it again. This is going to be the 6th game. You know me. By the way, I have not made any prediction. I've not made any graphics for today. I want you guys to know that because spring break has been kicking my ass at work. However, I want you both to know that I love being proven wrong. You both know this, right? I would love to be proven wrong on Saturday because I grew up watching this team. I, again, will say that we have been spoiled by the amount of success that we had the last couple years, right? Gerald, one of my best friends, but this is the realization. This is what realization feels like when we don't get our way, and I wish Ohio State fans felt that when they don't get their way.
That's a whole, it is loaded path to go down if we wanted to. I don't think we should because that'll hold the spiral quickly.
But I want us to win a game so bad.
I think, who set it up here? Because I said, if we get a tie, I'll feel great. Andy was like, no, we need a win. Like, we need the confidence to know. I think especially in the road. I mean, honestly, like getting a win at home is obviously great. And I think eventually those are going to come. Like, I'm not necessarily as worried about that, but like a win on the road right now would feel like a monumental lift for them to get some confidence coming into who do we play next weekend. I was just looking at this. I swear it's not right, but I swear it's Orlando. Okay. So
that's even worse.
yeah. So we need confidence and momentum. And Andy, I'm a Packers fan, so I do not associate with the Browns or the Bengals.
I'm a Dolphins fan. I think Joe's Bengals. Right? Bengals? Yeah. Who shines in this match?
Probably Abu Ali at this rate. I think it's the safest bet.
I mean, that's pretty given answer at this point.
Him or Schulte are the two that are the best on the team right now in terms of performance, I would say.
Andy's and bruh, Dolphins and Packers, yeah.
What's wrong with the Packers?
What's wrong with the Dolphins?
Wow.
They're
the Packers of the South now. They've got everybody from the Packers on their team practically.
Derek, wait, which one? You want to say Derek? Relax.
My brother is actually a Dolphins fan, so I do follow them a lot more than I typically would, just because he talks about them a lot.
Really?
Who shines this week?
Yeah. You guys need to show some state pride. No.
I can't get my head behind the clowns.
The clowns.
If you were picking one of the two options, you chose the right one, Gerald. I mean, if those were the two given options, honestly.
I don't like the clowns. I don't like the squealers.
The whole
and
AFC
I don't like the Baltimore clowns either.
Oh, it's on this computer.
I think Taha shines if he's with the team. If he's not back from the U20.
Okay.
Andre, I think he shines. I don't think he gets a goal, but I think he makes moves. Opens up, the wings.
On that point, just real quick, Gerald, Manny brought this up too about like when I was mentioning about Rossi being able to roam around. If they're both on the right hand side, and I hadn't thought about this before till he brought it up, but if you've got Rossi on the right hand side and you've got Herrera on that side, and both of them are moving forward, and kind of by nature, that's kind of what they do. Is that hampering us on that side because both of them are always pushing up?
Yes.
And just by nature of this system, it's leaving a bit of a hole on the right hand side. How do you see? So we're assuming he's going to continue to do that, and hopefully, if he shines, that means that he's doing that because that's what I feel like best at, and probably you would agree. How do we prevent that side from becoming an issue on the defensive end?
I know I'm going to get heat for this, but Herrera needs to stay back.
Hey, really quick. Was it correct prediction and team is 3 points?
Yes.
Correct prediction is 2. Correct team is 1. And then nothing is 0, right?
Yep.
I think I did the math wrong on this one here, but continue.
I think Herrera shouldn't should go up to midfield and stop. Because if you're letting Diego roam on that right side, he'll have all that area. If you don't want him to stop at midfield, then you let Herrera you put Herrera on the inside if he's still running the back four.
I think you'd almost have to run the back four. So you could slide, you would have a person who could slide over slightly.
Which would be Herrera.
Yeah. Which is a more natural spot, I would argue. At least in the years that he's been with us.
But I want to say, I think he might get some time, and that's Alphabet Man.
Narman Akunzada.
As some of the fans call him, Nari.
Love that.
I think we finally get to see him play. Hell, I even think Hugo might even get a goal this week.
Oh wow,
Such an idiot.
that'd be great.
Oh, really? I don't hate it.
Because the last couple of games that he's came in, he started taking more shots.
Yeah.
So the more shots you take, one's gonna go in eventually. Whether it's an own goal or it goes in on its own.
Yeah.
Something's gonna, the more that's the key for a Columbus win. The more shots you send at this keeper for Atlanta, who is not
Sus.
Brad Guzan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Suspect at best.
Mr. Clean himself. The more shots you put on him, I think, yes, yeah.
I've noticed that too. Herrera has definitely been getting a little more fouls. I would actually agree with Conley here. I think that Taha should be playing more of the mid and not up top.
No.
I was surprised to see him up top with Abu Ali personally.
But see, that's the thing. Like, the difference between Taha and Rossi is Taha can take those hits.
Mm.
We saw when Taha came in the game in Kentucky, where he was getting was Andre Yedlin was trying to body him off the ball, and what did Taha do? He stayed right there with the ball and got his first goal of his career. Right? It might have been his second goal. I don't know. I can't remember, but Taha has that upper body strength to not get bodied off of the ball that easily. Unfortunately, like Rossi with the short stature,
yeah,
you're able to, sort of bowling ball over. So having somebody up top that has that strength, that can battle going into the box. I do agree Herrera needs to chill. So maybe switch to a back three and put in Nari. Or if you want to run with the back four, you put in Ruvalcaba. Or use another one of the young bucks, right? Or you put Yevon in. I think at some point this season, the young pups that signed, with first team this year, I think they need to get some minutes.
Yeah.
And Chase Adams has been making a case to get some minutes by his performance with Crew 2. Because he put up a banger against Kentucky FC2. He put up a banger.
Yeah, I would like to see more of him. We talked about him last season too. I agree with you in general, though. I think especially as we're in this skid, I think there's no reason not to try a few things out. I mean, what's the worst can happen?
Oh shit! It wasn't. I could have sworn I muted the mic. My bad, y'all.
But yeah, I would like to see Chase for sure. But yeah, I mean, last year we saw some of the Crew 2 guys really do a good job when given the opportunity. And I think that to your point, Gerald, like, let's see what they can do. I mean, everyone should be playing for their position at this rate when you're going
Hold
to a
on.
skid like this.
Time out. I disagree with Connor. Connor says we got Open Cup. We can play the cappies and the vets. I disagree with that. I think that the young bucks need to get MLS game experience, not just tournament experience, because a lot of them already have tournament experience playing in the GA Cup for Adidas. You know, they have all those different tournaments that they did in the academy, so they have tournament experience. But I think regular season experience, to where if you're in a tournament, you get knocked out, okay, you're out of the tournament. MLS, you have to keep fighting all the way to decision day. So I think they need that experience there. And plus, they're going up against grown ass men. You know, they need to get that real world experience in an MLS sanction, not just a tournament. They need that experience. And that will only make them better in the long run for their career.
And I think too, I don't know that this year is the year we want to be experimenting with new people in the lineups just for the sake of trying things out in the US Open Cup. We're allowed to use our first team, this year. I think last year, what was it? We had to use crew 2 or something like that. So like getting these guys experience even before that starts, which isn't even until late summer. Then if technically you want to use the younger guys in general, they'll have a lot of experience to be able to then play in that tournament. But if you wait until that tournament to start doing that, you're not, to Gerald's point, you're then just throwing them in a tournament setting again.
Was my mic muted that time?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Sweetness. All right, boys. I guess now it's time for predictions. However, not to toot my own horn, my friends, but I am, oh my gosh, why are we doing this? What is happening right now? But boys, I'm starting to pull away right now.
My positivity has really done me a lot of favors so far.
Starting to pull away right now, boys. Yeah, I want you to know that I was so happy to see that I wasn't going to win. And then when I saw that it was 2-1, I said, well, 3 points for me at least. So, without further ado, fellas, what's predictions for Saturday looking like?
I'm gonna let y'all go.
That's crazy. I'm gonna let Derek go.
Oh man.
Or should I start it off?
Why don't you start it off?
I'm gonna go 2-0 Atlanta.
Okay, I figured you were gonna go Atlanta. Now I have to be like strategic about my picks, because if I just pick a 1-1 draw, that doesn't get me.
It gets you Gerald, what is it? It's 2 points.
Andy.
Right?
Andy said just let me go first and you guys just pick opposite and you'll get.
Damn.
Not wrong. Absolutely. Fair. Very fair assessment. Clear. This is why I don't do a lot of sports betting right now. I haven't done any for a while because I just don't win anything. So it's been pretty bleak the prediction and betting front altogether.
That's why I just go with corner kicks, man.
Yeah, just like, pick something simple and put lowest amount of money you can on something. Oh God, I don't know. We just had the grass conversation. I'm trying to talk myself. I should not be doing
we
this.
Actually did, didn't we? We just had the grass conversation.
So now I'm talking myself into the crew again when I should not be doing that. And yeah, Gosdog to start. Yeah, I mean, you would lose money probably on betting him to start at this rate because that's a whole other conversation. We need to have that conversation. We don't have to have it today, but because I'm sure we know he's probably not going to play, but that could be something we definitely should address at some point. I'm going to go 2-1 Crew, and I'm going to regret the pick, but that's what I'm going to go with, and really cross my fingers and toes that I get it right. If not, I don't know. I'll just continue to make bad picks. Probably. Who are we kidding?
Derek's going to get on the board at some point in time.
Yeah, but I can't end the whole season 0. I mean, that's crazy.
I just bought a Pikachu
Columbus.
VMAX.
If any of you guys are interested in virtual cards, you should hit up Ty on all of his socials. He's very plugged into that game right now.
You said 4-2 Columbus?
Yep.
That's bold.
Love it. I mean, I would gladly take that.
This I think this snaps some confidence back into the team. And then heading, which the following game would be against Orlando, who is struggling as well.
At home too, so that helps.
Yeah. I'll take 4-2.
4-2 Columbus, 2-0 Atlanta.
2-1
Derek, what'd you
Columbus.
say?
2-1
Columbus. Man. All right. All right. Well then, I guess we have our predictions. Guess we see what happens on Saturday. Really quick, let's touch on it before we end the show. NWSL to Columbus. I'm all for it.
100%.
I'm all for it. I think I just saw the petition got like over 5,000 signatures.
Yeah, something.
Mm-hmm.
I saw like reading the tea leaves of some of the people who would maybe be in the know. It's not like you haven't seen anybody officially say anything about it, but it's reading the tea leaves. It feels like the meter is very high for Columbus to get approved for a team. Now, how that's all going to go down.
Love it.
But they were also looking too, like if Columbus can get it approved to have the NWSL, McCoy Park over there by Old Cooper Stadium would be the stadium and the grounds for the NWSL team.
I don't think I would like that, quite honestly.
It's right off of the freeway, so easy, on off.
So wait, hold on. So wait, is it going to be like an NWSL soccer specific stadium, or is it just going to be like, okay, now if it's a soccer specific stadium, now we're talking.
That's from what I'm heard that if approved, they're looking at turning that whole McCoy Park area, which is a nice size area, to have the training facility and a field there. Which they could put a soccer specific stadium there, or if they do it right, McCoy Park can turn into nice.
The PSA 10.
If they do it right, they could turn McCoy Park into a training facility.
It's a $66 card.
Or turn it into like OHPC, for the NWSL, and then buy up the old Cooper Stadium land and put a stadium there.
Now,
because
Connor
you're not that far.
Go ahead.
You wouldn't be that far from the training facility. You would have, on-off ramps. You know what I'm saying? You could pretty much revitalize that whole area by putting an NWSL team there, which A lot of those vacant warehouses that are right there on Mount Street, would be gone. It would clean up a lot of that area because then you can start putting in, like they're doing with Astor Park. They're putting in the apartments there. You could have apartments there for, team, or
Yeah.
staffing, right? You could put in restaurants, to, whatever the case may be, but you could clean that area up.
Now, my question would be, I like that idea, but why could we not just use Cruise Stadium or whatever, the lawn? Eventually, we'll
The
get it.
lawn.
Here's the thing with that is logistics.
There it is.
Right? Because there are some games where NWSL plays on days that Crew play.
Okay, that was going to be my next question. Since we don't have a
Then you
team near us, I wondered about the scheduling and how that typically works.
Then you also got to look to baseball's in town.
We already do that, though.
But what I'm saying though, now if you're adding an NWSL, you have minor league baseball, you got the Crew playing. Blue Jackets will probably be already out of commission. Now I still have hope.
Whoa. Hey, the Jackets are not.
I still have hope that they make the playoffs. But what I'm saying though is when it starts getting into the meat of an NWSL season, right? The Blue Jackets won't be there. Because it'll be like June, July, right?
Yeah. Even if they made the Stanley Cup, it doesn't go that far into the summer.
So you have baseball, the Crew. If there's any concerts going on, you have, I don't know, well, the Aviators will be done after spring.
I do have this is a general question more than anything. I don't know if you guys know the answer to this, but the season, because we're switching the seasons, so we're gonna have a lot more of Blue Jackets Crew overlap for a lot of the season. Yeah. And is NWSL changing their season also, though? Because that kind of helps if they're not.
I don't think NWSL is.
I haven't heard that either. Which I think would, if you're the Haslams, and Connor made a great point. I definitely want to touch on this. But if you're the Haslams and you own the team, and you're able to maximize that stadium in the summertime by also having NWSL teams there, wouldn't that benefit them to do that? Because they're not spending extra money on a stadium. Now, I know they want to do their own training facility and all of that, but I don't know. If it were my stadium and they weren't changing their schedule, I would want to do that. And I'm not saying, maybe they sell out 20,000 tickets. I have no clue what that's going to look like. But you have bowls in different areas. You could do different stuff to make sure the crowd is all in one spot if you're not selling that many. But you are, in general, making it so that you can utilize that year round more or less.
I would have to look at numbers.
Connor's saying he's seeing rumors that they're talking about switching theirs also.
And that'd be a bad idea.
Yeah, I think that league in particular has a lot of juice to it already, and switching over for the sake of just matching everybody else, maybe at some point, but I don't know that you want to do that right now. I'm not an expert in that by any means, so I don't honestly know.
I would have to see attendance numbers.
Yeah, I don't know either. Do a lot of these teams have their own stadiums?
Not really.
Do they play at an MLS stadiums typically?
Nice.
Ty's really locked into this conversation. We can tell.
I don't think we get an NWSL team. I don't think it'll be Columbus SC or FC. I think they might go. I think they might go to the people that started the Eagles.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
Try to bring them in.
They should do that. They really should, because the Eagles have been around for quite some time, and that would be a bit of a disservice to them to just leave them out in the cold on that. I want to bring up a quick point that Connor mentioned about how the mayor and the Haslams want $50 million from the public fund, from the public, to fund like the, I don't know if it's training, what if there were specifics about that, what that money's going towards specifically, but it's $50 million in your billionaires. Like, that is a drop in the bucket.
I don't think it is.
Look at like the data centers and stuff. We're constantly offering out this money to things that would provide a lot less. And I just don't see how we would be willing to do that for them, or not do that, but I mean, I don't see the return on investment in that. So then why would you think that, like, the people want the team and everything, but if you know you have a billionaire owner, why do you need $50 million? Usually they're asking for like $250 million or, these massive amounts.
So with, I have a feeling it's because it's NWSL.
They got confidence enough to bring the team here.
But here's the thing. Look at women's sports. You got to look at women's sports, right? And it's sad that you have to look at it like this, and it's because society doesn't think that women's sports deserve the big dollars like men's sports. When some of the women's sports are clearly better than some of the men's teams, which I will say, i.e., Ohio State's women's basketball and hockey. But you got to look at it like that. And if it's not something that sells out, 20,000 seats every single week, right? You're not going to ask for $250 million. When, yes, they can easily put up the 50 million, but you also have to look at what else, and I hate to say it, but everything else that HSG is a part of and where their money is being allocated to, which right now it's mostly Deshaun Watson with Cleveland, but also they have a stake with the Milwaukee Bucks. You have Crew and Crew 2.
Not doing very well in Pokemon.
Bullshit.
I'm really not.
With Crew and Crew 2, right? You have the Browns. So I mean, it's where everything is being allocated to. And then on top of that, you got to pay the employees, that work for HSG, that work for each of these teams, from all the back office, the front office, things like that. So there's a way that they're going to be putting up majority of the money, right? And I hate to say, but it's like they look at it like, if you guys really want this team and the city really wants this team, bring something to the table.
Fair.
But what I'm saying? If they're putting up 3/4 of the money to build all the stuff, to do all the to get all the architecture done, to do the training center. Say they buy the old Cooper Stadium land and they make that a soccer specific stadium for NWSL, right?
They don't need to do that though. They have a stadium already. Is my point. They don't need that extra money to build a new stadium. They could wait and see how well it goes first, and then build a new stadium. Like they don't need that money to just build a new stadium for the sake of doing it.
Which I agree with that. They could use, historical crew, right?
Yeah, I think
Whenever
they may
crew
have
two's
turf now.
not
That may be
playing,
a little different, but
whenever crew two's not playing, or there's not an event there, or the aviators aren't playing, they could use that, or you know, they could use Scotts Field. But also at the same time, if they bring the NWSL and start doing the training, building the training facility over there in McCoy Park, they could buy the land. They could buy Cooper Stadium's land, and then they can work on the project because they already have two other stadiums that they can use. They can prolong. They not prolong, but they don't have a quick timetable that they would have to have a stadium built on that land. But what it does for the city, though, like I said, it can revitalize that whole area there with getting a lot of those, vacant warehouses that have nobody in them except for homeless people, and roaches and every other, creepy critter, but it can revitalize a whole area to bring more income in. Because that whole area was supposed to, Jeff Gordon was going to buy that area and turn it into a NASCAR institute.
What?
Yes.
I've never heard of that before.
He was part of a team. He was a part of a team that was going to buy that area and turn it into like an institute for stock car racing, for people to actually go to school there to eventually get on with teams in NASCAR.
That'd have been a cool thing.
But it got shot. It got shot down because of German Village.
Yeah,
Which makes sense.
There's a lot of I think that's a part of it too, right? Like, there's a lot of when you're getting the community, the smaller communities amongst Columbus involved. There's going to be a lot of, and I think Connor said there's a lot of politics. I don't know fully about NWSL in general, but the politics behind a lot of the suburb neighborhoods and stuff in Columbus in terms of what they're willing to have come into their areas and different things like that, for sure. I don't want to see, I know I saw another thing was about like putting a tax on tickets. They already did that once with the Blue Jackets, and people are in an uproar about it because they, and I think, in my opinion, rightfully so. These people have billions of dollars. It's a community asset, but the community only gets whatever the billionaire decides to do with the team. Like, they don't own the stadium. They don't own the land at that point because they bought the land. So it's a community asset, but only us getting to take pride in the team. We're not getting anything from sales. We're not getting anything from, if they want to sell it, they're the ones making money on it. Ultimately, nobody who lives around the area. The revitalization part makes perfect sense, though. I do understand that for sure. I just think a lot of times when these owners want so much money, I mean, and granted, I'm never going to be a billionaire. I would love to be a billionaire. Who wouldn't? Fingers crossed, right? And maybe next time I go to Vegas, next thing I know, I got $1 billion. Who knows? But I won't. I guess I will admit will not fully understand what $50 million, and I think that's kind of the hang up right now. That's why I'm using that as the kind of the number. I will never understand how much money that is. But to me, if you've got, I don't know how many billions that Haslam has, over $1 billion though, let's say, $50 million to a normal person is not going to seem like that much when you've bought stake in the Milwaukee Bucks for like an absolutely insane amount of money. And I know that from a revenue standpoint brings them in more money, but when you try to tie it into the community getting its own, like this asset to the community, sure, the things that are built up around it will certainly thrive with it being there. But ultimately, if you're talking to the citizens themselves, and you're asking them to funnel that money via like tax on tickets and different things like that, it's a hard pill to swallow for anybody, especially given like a current economic climate. And I just think everybody, is going to look at that and say, well, why does a billionaire need tax money from me to get this done when they will easily go do these other things and buy up these other things that don't even involve anybody else paying anything.
You want to know one of the reasons why? You put 50 million in there, right? You're the city of Columbus. You put 50 million in.
Mm-hmm.
Say your ROI isn't what you predicted. Who's out the most money?
By the way, Andy, Connor, I'm just here to facilitate discussion.
Right, fair, but that's the risk you take when you're investing in something. It's like you look at anybody who's investing in a stock. If it tanks, that's on you because you invested in the stock.
And which
not everyone else's problem.
Which goes back to what I said with the Haslam's putting up 3/4 of the money on the table. They want the city of Columbus to put the other quarter, right? Now, you mentioned something. You mentioned something about selling the team if they wanted to, and the city wouldn't get anything.
Selling what team?
They should be selling any team.
No, but he made the statement like if the owners, if the billionaire owners wanted to sell the team, they could, and the city wouldn't get nothing, right? Which is false. Because the owners can't sell it until they give the city a chance to come up with owners.
Yeah, but that's only in Ohio. They went and bought like a stake in the Bucks and didn't have to spend any money out. They didn't have to get any money from anyone else.
But what I'm saying though is, well, that's because they just bought into it.
Fair.
They bought the shares.
Yeah. Okay.
So when it comes down to it, it's the Modell law. We bring in an NWSL team, and 3 years from now, the Haslam's going to say, okay, well, we want to move it to Cleveland, or we want to move it here, or wherever, right? They can't just up and move it. You have to give the city, because of that Modell law, you have to give the city a chance to get a group of owners or a owner to be able to purchase that team before it's moved. i.e. save the crew movement.
Did the city itself, was that more of the fact that the team was in Ohio and that's just part of the law? Or did the city give them any kind of money when they originally built the team and the stadium and all that? And that's beyond my knowledge, admittedly. So I do not know.
Because when the crew first, I don't know about when they first came into the league about the economics on that, but when they came over to where historical crew is now, they were leasing that.
Okay, so the city owned the land and everything,
because that is the state fairgrounds,
right?
And so the crew were paying the city for it, on that. And that's why Precourt wanted to buy land, build a stadium downtown. And, he was running into so much shit. So then that's why he said, you know what, fuck y'all. I'm going to move y'all to Austin.
Yeah.
And then when attorneys started digging into the Ohio law books, they found the Modell law. So Ohio is actually, I think Ohio is the only one that has that right now. But
yeah, I think you're right.
If an owner wanted to move a team, they would have to give that city a chance to get owners to buy the team. Otherwise, if nobody after so many days, after a set amount of time, comes forward to buy the team to keep it in that city, the current owners then can move the team out of the state or out of the city. So, I mean, it's hindsight is 2020, but I think it has to be more transparency onto what that 50 million is going to.
Sure.
On what the 50 million is gonna go? Is that 50 million gonna be the franchise fee?
Yeah, I saw someone.
Yeah.
Connor asked how much would it cost to get a team. I do not know that.
Is that the franchise fee? Is that is that 50 million from?
Boys, play nice in the chat. I gotta facilitate. I gotta facilitate the chat too. Jesus Christ!
You're a moderator now.
Yeah, I got it. Look, you ain't got to facilitate between me and Derek.
We're good.
I don't know, boys. It's past my bedtime.
All right, let's say this.
My word.
I want to definitely look more into this because obviously, we can have a spirited conversation about it. And even the chat obviously is interested in it. It feels like there's a lot of legs to it happening. So I don't know that, like you said, Gerald, just now, I don't know that we know a lot about what the money would go towards or things like that. I'm just typically always on the side of I don't think that public money should have to go towards a team that's going to be privately owned personally. But, again, what's the money going towards? If that money is really realistically going towards building up that area in particular, I am not necessarily opposed to that aspect of it. But I think on surface level, for someone like myself who hasn't dug super deep into it yet, on the surface level, I don't necessarily love that idea. But I think you raise really great points about if it's going
to has to be more transparent,
building up there. Yeah. And a lot of times these aren't necessarily transparent until somebody finds the info and puts it out there for us. But I think there's certainly pros and cons. I'd be all for it ultimately of getting the team here because I think it'd be really fun. I enjoy the U.S. women's national team, to kind of circle us back all the way to the beginning of the U.S. men's national team. I mean, they're awesome. And a lot of those players play in this league. It'd be really cool to have a Rose Lavelle here also to stick it to our little
Trinity
brothers
Robin.
down south. Yeah. That aspect would be really cool. I'm all for that, but I want to know more about it, I guess, ultimately.
All right, so Ty's becoming a gremlin.
We'll revisit at some point, Trail. We'll get more info and we'll bring it up at some point.
Ty's probably hungry and tired because he's been dealing with kids.
It's me. Yeah, but it's the fact that I really don't want to go to 10.
He's got an Apex game calling.
Yeah.
Nah, bro. I'm watching airplanes land and take off at the Vegas airport. So
love that. Absolutely love that.
Dude.
So we can table this discussion to you and me, Derek, on the phone. So
yeah, there we go. We'll have a combo. We'll get to the bottom. For everybody in the chat, me and Gerald get to the bottom of it, and we'll bring the facts and we'll find out what's going on.
We're gonna end this show because it's starting to get a little hot.
It's not even hot. It's just, man, this is probably our longest show. And the chat's kind of unhinged right now. So
we know how to get them worked up.
Yeah. So fellas, without further ado, really quick, Jesus Christ. Reminder, the Wisemen Say merch store is now live. Hoodies, tees, mugs, hats like Derek is wearing. If you rep the black and gold, we've got something for you. So go ahead and grab the new drop at the link in the description below. We will have a code of some sort for free shipping on $75 or more. It supports the show, and you also look great doing it. This episode was also brought to you by Sam's Club. If you're looking to save serious money this year, groceries, home essentials, tailgate supplies for crew match days, now is the time to become a member. Click the link below, and you get 50% off of a Sam's Club membership, which means wholesale pricing on everything from snacks and drinks to electronics and household items. Whether you're stocking up for watch parties, loading up on bulk buys for the family, or just trying to stretch your dollar a little further, this is one of the best membership deals available. Once again, click the Linktree link in our episode description and follow the Sam's Club membership link. It's quick, it's easy, and it pays for itself fast. This episode is also brought to you by StubHub. If you're looking to be inside Scott's Miracle-Gro field instead of yelling at your TV, StubHub has you covered, whether it's the next Columbus Crew home match, a massive rivalry game, or even concerts and other live events. StubHub is one of the most trusted ticket marketplaces in the game. Don't just watch, be the moment, be there for it. You guys can follow us on social media at the Wiseman Pod on Twitter, at Wisemen Say Podcast, or Wiseman Pod, that B Sky, that social and Blue Sky, on Instagram at the Wisemen Say Podcast. You guys can follow Gerald on social media
at Gerald_Lucas96.
You guys can follow Derek on social media
at Funky Moses 17.
And you guys can follow me on social media at Fisher Tyler __. And yeah, that's it. John, my friend, as tradition goes, Wisemen say,
only fools rush in.
Peace out, everybody. Have a good weekend. Stay safe, stay hydrated, stay cool. Hug your loved ones. Go Crew.
Go Crew.
Stay wise, yo. Ooh.